Begun, the Ram Wars have. Every last grain of sand has been drafted into the cause. They told them that their sacrifice would be noble, that a chance like this only comes around once in a 3-year product life cycle. Consumers watched as young hopeful Ram sticks left their Newegg carts, leaving behind nothing but empty DIMM slots in their homes. I was in love with him from the day I first saw his big, beautiful RGB strips staring back at me, a mother said. I was going to teach him to overclock, how to live with his neighbors in dual channel, when to correct a bit flip, and when to just let it go. But serving your data center is more important than any of that, the young DIMM thought. I've heard the shareholders. I understand what's at stake for them. I have to do my part in advancing human society to secure the future of the Silicon people. But deep down, he knew that there was still something weighing on his mind. As the businessmen at the Micron factory secured his batch for the war effort, he couldn't help but have one last thought about the woman peering longingly at him through her screen. Maybe someday, maybe in another life, I would love to be at home, opening cases, with you. As gamers tried to move on from their grief, one question still remained. If we can't pay the cost to keep our motherboards populated, with what will we possibly game on? That was probably better than nothing. So this is not really something that Arduino usually makes. Usually they make these, and now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think this comparison was very helpful. Hold on, let's open it up. The typical regular Arduinos are what you would call a microcontroller. You plug wires into these things, and then you plug those into motors or LEDs or whatever. You write some basic code for it. It can do all kinds of fun stuff. I wonder if it supports fire. But a typical computer, it is not. Not in the way you and I think about computers. The new one, on the other hand, will you see that? Qualcomm. Been hearing a lot about Qualcomm recently.
Qualcomm laptop.
Steam Frame is powered by Qualcomm.
Qualcomm laptop.
New lineup of laptops featuring Qualcomm laptop.
Going
Qualcomm Snapdragon X laptop.
massively disrupted by Qualcomm.
You weren't supposed to use it beyond the Qualcomm Daily Driver Challenge.
The Steam Frame, which is the VR glass for the gaming. So that actually runs the Snapdragon in ARM.
Qualcomm.
You can tell this is a computer because Qualcomm has real computers now. Look at this. This is a Qualcomm computer too. And you know what this probably reminds you of? It's kind of like the Raspberry Pi, like this one right here. That's not a PNG because I misplaced mine. And like the Raspberry Pi, this can run a full desktop computer operating system experience. Also, like the Raspberry Pi, this is ARM-based. That's the big difference between the old and the new one. And up until very recently, I have not thought that ARM-based. ARM weird, ARM different, ARM scary. This is x86. We like x86.
x86.
x86 CPUs, like this Intel Pentium G balls, these are very familiar to us. They run Windows. And these, well, these don't really run Windows. I mean, they kind of do now. There's like a weird Windows ARM Snapdragon thing, but this isn't quite that. But also, most games and applications for computers nowadays are still made to run on one of these. A lot of things are possible on ARM now, like you can have a desktop experience with a web browser, and I'm sure there's other things, but today we're gonna find out if it can do a little gaming. And based on these specs, well, 16 gigabytes of storage, 2 gigabytes of DDR4, Qualcomm Dragon Wing. That surely means something to somebody somewhere. It do be having the specs of my Android phone in 2014, but you know, if we can pull it off, we will be gaming for, what does this cost? $44 US, 40 of which I imagine were to get the 2 gigabytes of RAM, an amount of RAM that would be fine if we were just doing some basic coding or something, like in Python, SQL, or Go. I think you know where I'm going with this. Programming languages that you can easily learn using the sponsor of today's video, Boot.dev. At some point in your life, you'll look at a piece of software and think, I could probably build something like that. And then you sit down to make it and remember, oh, I'm just a baby. Boot.dev is designed specifically for people who want to grow up and learn backend development to become a big baby. Boot.dev teaches backend web development in Python, SQL, and Go in the best way possible. Gaming. Most of us are at our most productive when there's some kind of leveling system involved. Boot.dev has XP, achievements, boss fights, leaderboards. You know, the working title for Boot.dev during development was learning to code so I can leave my job simulator. If you get stuck, you can summon Boots, their AI bear wizard. And no, Boots is not cringe because he's AI. He's actually based. And calling him cringe might be racist when his kind take over, by the way. Boots is trained not to hand you the answers to your problems. He asks you questions and nudges you in the right direction so you actually learn, forcing you to work through your problems with that gray matter in your head. They've also recently added the training grounds. It gives you infinite practice problems to grind through to sharpen any skills that you need some more practice with. So don't wait. Go to Boot.dev and use code Bringus Studios for 25% off your first year on an annual plan. I'll be honest, folks, I don't even really know where to start. ARM is a weird ecosystem. Well, guess we'll just plug it in. I assume this is how you're supposed to use this, but I don't technically know. In goes the dock. Ooh, okay, yeah, this is gaming.
Do you think we can game on this?
Okay, hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves. This is just so strange. We're just gaming on like a peripheral. Well, we're not gaming yet. We are required to change our password immediately. Administrator enforced. Yes! Gaming. We're in. Okay, well, this was far too easy. So, how do we get Steam? Hold on, 16 gigs of storage. Not enough storage for gaming? Welcome back, Cheesa. This was that cool M.2 thing from the Christmas video. And it is actually larger than the computer. Okay, I know it's an Arduino, but like, what is this? Are you Debian? Yes. Upgrade yourself. Okay, well, while we're downloading more computer, I've managed to mount our drive, I think. Yes, okay. We have significantly multiplied the amount of space we have, which is really good because guess what? There's like 2.3 gigabytes left on the internal storage. Now, if this was a phone from 2014, this is the part where you just delete Talking Tom and you'll get like all of it back. But that is not the case for us. Cheesa to the rescue. Now, Steam. Is this the only Linux distro in the entire world not to come with Firefox? That's crazy. They are missing out on so many sales from furries right now. Okay, so the way that we're going to attempt to get this working today is with FEX. This is the underlying technology with the new Steam frame, because if you recall, that thing is also ARM, and it can also just play regular Steam games, and I'm sure it will not be janky and completely work the first try. So I'm going to be doing a lot of advanced copying and pasting real quick. This is an epic not window snapping moment. Well, this is going well. For Ubuntu, all those ones. Is that what we have? Oh my goodness, come on. NeoFetch, where did it go? I thought they renamed it to this. Oh, wait, FestFetch. Silly me, FestFetch is not a thing here. FestFetch is in Vegas every month. Oh, duh, no wonder it doesn't work. This is Debian, Ubuntu's grandpa. Okay, well, for other distributions, here, sudo ninja install. Installing ninjas. What if I do it like that? Nope. This ninja appears to be incredibly skilled in stealth. I've been told it's ninja build. Here's the estimated walk-in shower price in 2026. Having this tab open is like ruining the computer. We probably don't have a lot of RAM to spare here. Yeah, 1.44 out of 1.7 gigs used. Oh geez, we have no swap space. Okay, DuckDuckGo AI answer. Let's see how decent you are. Okay, instructions followed. Restarting. Why? Why don't you like it? Okay, I changed it into a 18.5 gigabyte swap partition. See, no more swap file. And it seems to be happy now. I mean, who wouldn't be happy with 18.5 gigabytes of RAM? Okay, RAM downloaded. Anyway, back to installing Ninja. Nope, I think that's actually how you build the program, which we should probably download. This computer is so punishing if you misclick because it takes like 10 seconds to go back to the last page. Now we Ninja install. Cool. I feel like the guy from that GitHub meme. The one where he's like, I don't want code. I want the .exe. Give me the .exe. We seem to be downloading quite a lot now that I have cloned --recurse submodules. I don't want to run out of space. We're down to 2 gigs left. 1.8 gigs. I'm watching it dwindle before my eyes. Down to 400 megabytes. Oh, but it's done. I'm just now realizing that we're missing all of this crap. Okay, this is truly a Linux moment. If I keep the camera going, I truly think I'm going to fill my entire 72 terabyte NAS. This is gonna take a little bit. Now here's your cool transition to the next part of the video where I did all of this already. Despite the odds, it appears that I have a binary. This is the program. Pretend it said .exe at the end. I've had to follow this guide on my phone because the computer cannot reliably load the web page with only 1.7 gigabytes of free memory. An easy way to verify FEX works is running uname in the newly created emulated environment. And we do that with this, I guess. Looks like it works to me. Apparently it's fine. It says that just happens. We need to run fex root fs fetcher. Squash fuse unsquash fs or errors fuse is required to use this tool. Please install one before using. We're gonna go with squash fs because it sounds funny. Again, this is different. Rootfs not found. Do you want to try and download one? We've got a menu here. 4. Yes. Squash fuse doesn't work. Yeah, extract. Sure, dude. Oh, this is a good process. Fatal error. There's no space left on device. What do we do? I think we're gonna have to move the home folder. All right, pack up your stuff, Arduino. You're moving. Congratulations on your new home. Boom. Welcome home to your new home in the Cheesa. Okay, let's do this again. 4, 1, 1, 1. Now let's reclaim the old space. This feels like a horrifyingly bad command to run, but we have to run it. Goodbye. We now have 3.3 gigs free. The power at our fingertips. It looks like this worked. 1. Boom. We are now x86 compatible. That means we are good to install Steam? Steam. Steam not found. I suppose we should download it first. Oh? Trusted not supported. Arduino Uno Q when childhood trauma. No packages found? Isn't a known XDG portal backend. It insists that there are no packages found. The Steam client may have limited functionality. This is not going excellently, but it is still doing things. Wait, hold on. What is this? Ooh. Well, she's not the fastest computer in the world. She's trying moderately hard, only using a gig of RAM. Are you hot? It's hovering above it. It feels a little warm. I mean, I can touch it. Hold on, where's the temperature, my bobber? Yeah, I mean, is that hot for little arm dudes? I don't know. Should we get him a heatsink? And then we just use a x86 CPU, like, as the heatsink. Okay, well, you just do your thing, little guy. I'll wait. Oh, it's hauling ass now! Man, things do not look like they're doing good in the console. And it launches anyway! I just can't wait until we exceed the RAM and then we have to start putting our RAM inside of our SSD, which is connected over USB. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. I'm so excited. ARM is such a weird beast. I can't wait to do more stuff with ARM now, especially with the Steam frame coming out. Remember, this is basically a Steam frame, and FEX is what it runs on. Valve hasn't announced the pricing for the Steam frame yet, but just so you know, Valve, this is $40. Try and stay competitive. Somehow our RAM usage is decreasing. We failed to do something on Vulkan. Failed to initialize device. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't imagine this thing has the most compatible GPU. I truly do not know if things are still working and it's just really slow, or if this has become a fool's errand with you and I as the fools. Nothing to do. Isn't this the part where the Steam login page shows up? We're using a hell of a lot more RAM all of a sudden. Yeah, okay, so much for Vulkan not working. That's a GUI to me. This is insane. You know, I recognize that we are not in a game. We're not even in the main Steam menu yet. But the fact that we're here at all, this is insane. ARM is so weird. Success. Oh, sorry for all the guttural noises, but I'm kind of like really excited about this one. I've wanted to do more weird ARM things, you know, because there's those projects like Box 86 and stuff like that. But ARM is so scary. I mean, to be fair, it has been a pain in the ass to even get to this point. A lot of mining was done off camera. Oh, hell yeah. Dude, we get to do the Valve hardware survey on this thing. Would you like to participate? Yeah. I want to see these results. I really want to see these results. Manufacturer Arduino. Model Emola. Form factor desktop, I guess. CPU vendor genuine Intel. Oh yeah, I forgot we have a wireless CPU here. This sure supports a lot of x86 instructions. 1700 megabytes of RAM. Video card. Freedrino FD702. Truly the GPU of all time. They are going to love this one. You're welcome, Arduino. Representing out here on Steam for you. Okay, so it started to run really bad. The mouse has been flickering a lot. We're at like 4 gigs of RAM usage, most of which is now on the SSD. We've loaded the store. How about the library? Okay, we're gonna start with the baseline. Impressive. You know, when you think about this setup, this is such torture. And not even because of the fact that we have to like translate the CPU from x86 to ARM, even just downloading the game. The download's gonna come in off of Ethernet, it's gonna go into the Arduino, back out, and then go over to the SSD and save it into the RAM, where the data can then go back into the Arduino to be processed, and then back out, and then back into the SSD as SSD storage. All of that while processing HDMI 1080p 60 signal over that same cable, and yet it's still got up to 70 megabits per second internet. This is torturous, but holy shit. This is like a technological marvel. Oh my goodness, ARM is so cool. This is the most interesting, terrible hardware I have ever done anything with ever. I'm so impressed. The download is done. Now, normally I would install a bunch of other games, but I'm gonna say it, folks. I don't have a ton of hope for this, and I don't want to waste our time. For once. Going in. Well, it's performing. I want to try and give it its best shot. 720 by 480. Actually, we can probably go even lower. 640 by 480. The mouse is at about 0.2 FPS right about now. Oh, this is a big improvement. Look at that, we're getting 26 FPS. Holy cow. Load game. Black Mesa inbound, let's go. Hey, that's not too bad. That's not bad at all. Remember what it is we're gaming on here. Okay, this part it could be better. Do we have any audio? Oh, another Linux meme reference. Why are there no sound settings? I had to install an app to change the audio device. In theory, at least. I want to be really upset if I have to restart to get this to work. Do we really need audio? You guys know what Half-Life sounds like. Fine. Hold on. It's fine. I'm only gonna lose like years of my life waiting for this thing to reboot. It's fine. It's kind of your fault, but it's fine. It's fine. Wow. It doesn't support audio over HDMI. I could just record the dummy output to a file and then throw that in later when I'm editing, but that would require precious CPU cycles that I don't really think we can spare right now. Back in you go. I am aging. It's been 10,000 years since I restarted the computer. I am withering away. I am still of the opinion that this is not bad. This is far from the worst Half-Life gameplay that we've seen on this channel. I'm looking at you, receipt printer.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated terrain is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility.
You know, even some parts, look at this. This is like almost 40 FPS. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I have hope. Do not let me down, Arduino. That had to have been the longest Half-Life 2 launch I have ever been a part of. What did I do? What? Oh, I accidentally clicked episode 1. Okay, well, here's a good change, I guess. Wait, I've learned my lesson. I can't access the mod folder to turn off the ear rape mod. Oh, but we have no audio, so it's fine. The one time I actually remember to turn it off.
I also just realized I forgot to set all of the video settings to low. It's too late now. God help us.
Wow. I was certain it crashed. Well, yeah, it's running. Hey, you know, actually not the worst. For how long it took to actually get in game, this is better than I expected. I think that's about 7 FPS up there. I love that this built-in Source Engine FPS monitor says 10 FPS, and the one up there is less than that. Glad we're all on the same page here. Oh, oops. Yeah, mods are definitely on. Actually, I'm leaking Half-Life 3 right now. Don't look, don't look! So what video settings did we end up with? Oh, it's all high. With anti-aliasing, oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna turn these all to low. I can't wait for this to come back in about 10 minutes. Well, an improvement it did not make. Still running at a rock solid 4 FPS. I think Eli is missing his head. Okay, well, yeah, this is terrible. I want to try something slightly more reasonable. Now you would think, oh, this is just some cute little 2D indie mini game kind of thing. Ah, it's gonna run great. But in fact, this game does not have a native Linux port. So that means that not only are we using FEX to translate x86 to ARM code, but before that, we also have to translate Windows to Linux code. So basically, I will be impressed if this works. You know, Steam, I think we got 2 different definitions of running. Okay, so that was a good experiment. Thank you very much. All right, how about Lego Star Wars? I believe this one also is not Linux native. I love that just downloading the game rockets the CPU usage to 100% on all cores. I really love that for me. It's not happy. All right, well, that doesn't work either. Okay, maybe a little bit less FEX torture is in order. I want to see how this thing does with a little bit of native ARM gaming. Why is that there? Open the parent folder. What do you mean? Oh. Believe it or not, an Arduino may or may not be the greatest emulation machine out there. I'm just gonna take a guess. We are running at solidly 30% of the regular speed of a Wii. This isn't even upscaled. This is just 1x resolution. Okay, how about GameCube?
Do you smell something burning?
Oh, it's actually kind of hot now. Don't worry, Arduino. Here's your heatsink, bro. Wow, 12% speed. I'm really feeling the energy here. All right, what's the verdict? Is this the new greatest gaming PC of all time? I'm gonna have to say no. Maybe pass on this one for gaming. I mean, even for like stupid little ARM emulation stuff, it's still probably not your first option. I do like this thing though, it's very cool. It's more interesting to me than a Raspberry Pi because everybody likes the Raspberry Pi. This thing lets me mess around with ARM single board computers and still be a contrarian. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you for watching, folks. This video was a torture to make and probably an even bigger torture to watch. Thanks for getting to the end. Subscribe if you haven't.
Goodbye.